What is up, Karatics? In this video, we're going to be customizing the Pfister Neon. Here it is right here. Pretty much an electric Porsche 4-door. Very beautiful car. So for those of you who think it's just the Panamera, that Rockstar just made it as an electric car, and they just came up with it in their own minds, and they slapped it together, and then put it in GTA. Well, it's not true, actually. This car does exist in real life. It's called the Porsche Mission E, and it's a concept car that Porsche created. I'll throw some pictures on screen right now. So you can see a very, very large resemblance between that and this car. It is $1.5 million, which is a hefty price for an electric car. But if we compare that to the coil rating at 1.375, I mean, they're only about a couple $100 grand off each other. About $135,000. I mean, so they're pretty much the same price, more or less. And you compare it to the Cyclone, 1.89, 1.9. Now you're about $400,000 off. So, yeah. I ordered it. Here it is. I think it's a beautiful car. I love how low slung it is. It is in the sports class, which I will agree with, even though it is a sedan. But I mean, this thing definitely screams sports car. This is. And here you can see the back end, how close it is to the real car. It is very, very, very close. I mean, they pretty much copied this thing almost identically. You can see the wheels in there, how you have the white right there. So the outer port of the lip of the wheels will be painted the same color as the car with the stock wheels. And then here we have the interior. So you pretty much have the same interior as the Revolter over there. We saw my last video, as well as the Nero, the X821. They all have this interior. And kind of ironic, these are the Porsche 918 seats, which we saw in a Bugatti and a Jaguar, and then in a Cadillac. Well, now they're actually in a Porsche for the first time. So that's nice. We got Porsche 918 seats in an actual Porsche this time. That's good. Alright. So now, let's say right on the D-pad, modify. Let's see what options we got here. Hopefully it's not like the Revolter where there was literally like no options. Okay. We got armor, typical armor and brakes. Alright, bumpers. Yes. We got primary color splitter. We got secondary colored splitter. And a carbon splitter. So these are all pretty much the same splitter, just different color variants. Here we have a competition splitter, which I think it looks good, but I mean, I'm not really a fan of those little chrome rods. I mean, they serve a purpose. That's so that the spoiler doesn't lift off down or up from all the downforce and then just rip off in real life. But I mean, depending on how you anchor the spoiler underneath, you don't really need that. It really just depends. Especially if this car doesn't have a very high top speed. Not really a fan of those little things. So I think I'm going to do a carbon splitter. Alright, rear diffuser. So we have the stock rear diffuser.
Making decisions is stressful.
Race rear diffuser. I can't really tell the difference. It just looks like a secondary. Then a carbon race diffuser. Okay, so we just give it a different name. So the primary, the stock rear diffuser is a primary, the race diffuser is secondary, and then the last one's carbon. So I'm definitely going to do the carbon.
Looks almost as good as you.
Engine, definitely. Hood. How do you have an engine upgrade in an electric car? I'm not gonna question Rockstar stuff. Okay, so here we have. Oh, okay, got a double stripe. Interesting. Then a single stripe. Huh. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Wow. Okay, we'll mess around with that last for now. I'm just gonna skip over that really quick. So we got stock or xenon. Look at the xenon on there. Okay, mirrors. We got race mirrors, which are the same but primary color. Carbon mirrors. You have primary rear cameras, secondary, carbon. Okay, so on the rear car, the cameras are actually located where that silver strip right under the mirror you see right there. That's usually where they're located. Right there, that silver strip. But I mean, that's probably the closest you can get to the real car is putting the cameras. So definitely gonna put the primary cameras on there, so they blend in a little bit. Get the plates, do yellow and black.
At her now.
All right, primary color. I think I know what color I'm gonna paint it. Dark steel with an ice white pearlescent. Looks good.
Bodywork to match the driver.
Secondary. I have a bunch of carbon options, so I don't think I have any secondary options right now. Nope. It doesn't do anything to the interior, unfortunately. Well, and there's no trim color, so you cannot change the interior color of this car, which I don't know why they didn't do that. I mean, that really sucks. And if you want to put the crew emblem, I would put it right there on the door. If you're wondering. Skirts. Okay, so we got primary. Huh. Okay. That's interesting. That's a really low skirts. Carbon.
No rush at all.
Primary race skirts. Secondary carbon. Primary competition skirts. Secondary carbon. Okay. So it's pretty much just adding an extension piece. If you notice, and this really triggers me, when you put one of these, you can see that the skirt is lower than the front bumper. See? Like, I like it symmetrical all the way around the entire car, and that's just way too low. So, and I like the carbon on the side, not the primary or the secondary, so I think I'm gonna have to keep the stock. Just my opinion. Okay, so we have spoilers. Okay, so we have this thing.
Do you need a drink?
Not a fan.
Bubbles or
I believe the coil rating had a similar spoiler option. Secondary, the carbon spoiler. Okay. Race spoiler. Touring spoiler from the Tyrus. And then a competition spoiler from the Tyrus. This bench seat. Okay. All these spoilers are terrible. I would have liked a little ducktail on the end of the car, like a very small little thin spoiler right above the tail light, just like on the edge, just a nice little thin ducktail. That would have been perfect. I'm pretty sure that's the spoiler everybody would have put on their car. But instead we get these reused, really large spoilers that I'm not really a fan of. And what sucks is that you have to put it on if you want the performance gain. So if you're going to be using it for racing, you have to put this on. You're forced to put one of these on. Not really a fan of the way this looks. I think it goes out way too far. So I guess I'm going to have to put the carbon spoiler for now. And then I'll probably change it up later on. Suspension. Oh, wow. That's a big difference. Definitely lower that. Wheels. Okay. You can see we got the gray there. So you saw when I painted the colors. We painted and pay attention to the wheels. You can see how they change. So in red, you can really see it, the red on the wheel right there.
How many cars you got in this garage again?
Secondary. Go.
Girl is looking good.
See the stripes. Did that. Trying to find the. I forgot where the stripes were. Hood? Yeah. Hood. Oh, so your stripes are your secondary color. Okay. Interesting.
cosmetics are on point. Looks almost as good as you.
Okay, go back to the hood. Wow, that actually looks pretty nice. I think I like the single a lot more than the, it kind of matches the Pfister blue logos. I think I'm definitely going to do that. And then what we'll do is we'll go to the wheels and then we'll match that together with the carbon and everything. Gonna do those. Wheel color. Bright blue, that the closest you can get.
Life is hard when you can have anything.
Yeah. That's pretty close. Yeah, bright blue will be the closest you can get. Alright, bright blue it is. Not bad. I wish we can change the color of the brake calipers, but unfortunately, that's what we're stuck with. Oops, kind of sucks. Okay. Well, that is all the options. Oh, and we got the window tints if you want to do that. Since this car doesn't really have an interior color option that you can change, I mean, I don't think changing this really matters. I mean, you're not really hiding anything.
Technology and budget permitting.
You're kind of hiding the nice seats, but it's really up to you. I'll just do, I'm gonna leave it without tints. I like the way the seats look. Okay. So let's exit to the ground. Take this thing for a little drive. I'll give you my first driving impressions. Okay. Let's see, right away. Oh yeah. I couldn't even turn, that's how much it was pulling. I was holding the steering and it bashed me into the wall. Okay, a lot of understeer. Definitely. When you're off the gas, it doesn't understeer as much. I guess that's just the power pulling it out. Jeez, this thing's fast. This thing actually handles decently well in comparison to the coil rating. Right away, I can tell this handles a lot better than the coil rating, which was the Tesla Model S P100D. Yeah, right away I can feel the difference. This car's cool. Those headlights are absolutely gorgeous. Literally mesmerizing. I think they did a really good job with the headlights. Tail lights as well. I mean, these tail lights are pretty much identical to the real car. The inside. This thing is very fast. Obviously, being an electric car, it's not going to have a high top speed. All these electric cars we've gotten recently, the Cyclone, the Coil Raiden, all those cars, they have very good acceleration, so crazy power off the line, but then very bad top speed, just like a real Tesla. So, yeah, keep that in mind. Now let's floor it and see how much wheel spin we get. Not much at all. It just goes. Right there I floored it. So I'm pretty sure this is all-wheel drive. Similar to the Tesla Raiden and the Cyclone. Let's see here. Yep, all-wheel drive. Again, all-wheel drive system. All-wheel drive. And I think if you hold the handbrake on the gas, it'll spin the front tires. Yep, same thing happens to the Coil Raiden and the Cyclone. So it's not front-wheel drive, but when you hold the handbrake, it locks the back wheels for some reason. So keep that in mind. Alright, so let's park it here and let's open all the doors and let's see what opens. Hopefully the trunk opens. I like to see what's in there. The doors. Oh. What? Wow, that sucks. Nothing opens. Not even doors. And the doors aren't attached to anything. Look at that, they're just floating in the air. That is absolutely hilarious. There's nothing holding those doors in place, the rear doors. That is hilarious. That's really funny. I think it looks pretty good. And it'll probably look really nice in white as well. And since you have these white accents in the car, you might want to do like a white secondary matching or something. It's pretty much up to you guys what you want to do. Do I feel it's worth the money? At 1.5 million, honestly, with all the stuff we've gotten recently, a lot of it being kind of poop, I'm gonna have to say yes in a way. Then again, you're gonna have to wait until my drag race testing, because if the coil rating is faster, then there's really no reason to buy this. But if this is faster than the coil rating, then yeah, of course. I mean, this is definitely a better car. Because this is in the sports class, so the reason the rating is so bad in the sports class is obviously because of its handling. The top speed as well, that plays one of the most important parts, but the handling in that car is just really, really bad. This one definitely feels leagues ahead of the handling of the coil rating. So maybe even if it's slightly slower in a straight line, or maybe they're identical in a straight line, this one will still be better because of that handling. That's it, guys. That was a customization for the Pfister Neon. I think it's a great car. Very, very beautiful, at least in my eyes. I think it's a gorgeous looking car. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you think it's ugly, if you think it's beautiful, if you're going to buy it, if you're thinking about buying it, I'd say go for it. I mean, it's very, very, very nice car. If you're on the fence about certain cars recently and you haven't bought a few of them, I'd say definitely jump on this one if you have the money. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.